Hi everyone, I'm Kay. I'm a solicitor in the private litigation team at Hardin Evans, and this is my colleague Chloe.
Hi, I'm Chloe. I'm a trainee solicitor in the team and Hardin Evans Solicitors.
We work mainly with landlords who have issues with their tenants, and we look to find the best way to help anybody who needs us, really. So we're just going to go through a couple of the most frequently asked questions that we have. Hopefully that can solve some of your problems before you get to us.
Yes. The Rent and Homes Wales Act 2016 passed on the 1st of December 2022. The new legislation brought in some changes of the responsibilities of landlords and contract holders, formerly known as tenants. We're here to help you if you're looking to evict your contract holder and can provide you with expert legal advice. Please note, this relates to properties in Wales only, so if you do need advice on a property in England, our team can provide you with assistance. So how can I evict my contract holder?
Well, unless your contract holder is willing to leave when you have those discussions with them, the only way really to bring the tenancy to an end is to follow the correct legal procedure. And as we said before, that's essentially serving notices on your contract holder. There's very, very different sort of expiry dates to those notices, but when they do expire, the contract holder basically has to leave or has to not leave. When it comes to that, we're more than happy to sort of talk any landlords through that process, because it does seem scary having to go to court, but we'll hold your hand through it. So if they don't leave, unfortunately, you will need to proceed to the next stage, which is to issue court proceedings.
What happens if I need to go to court?
So if your case does have to proceed to court, then the relevant notice will need to expire. That can sound quite scary, proceeding to court and issuing against your contract holder. Sometimes it really is the only way to go. So the court will then schedule a hearing. This gives you as the landlord the opportunity to basically put your case across, but it also really importantly gives the contract holder the opportunity to defend themselves and bring up any relevant issues that they may feel affects their case. So then if you are successful at court, great news, and the court will grant you something called a order for possession. That will essentially require that the contract holder leaves the property by the date that's on that order. If the contract holder doesn't leave by that date, then there are further things you can do, but it's a good first step to have, basically.
So what if my contract holder doesn't leave after we get an order for possession?
So if that situation arises, and we have seen that arise a good few times, we basically wait for the date that the notice expires. That can seem quite frustrating, but you really need to give the contract holder the opportunity to leave. Then what we would do is apply to the court for something called a warrant for possession. The court would then set a date essentially for bailiffs to attend the property. This is sort of very, very last resort, but it is something that we're more than happy to talk, any prospective landlords through when they come into the office.
How long does this process take?
Well, it can be quite lengthy in places because we are really reliant on sort of third parties and the way that the court processes things, and also the contract holder coming back with a defence as well. But we will aim to get it through as quickly as possible because we know how difficult it is and how, time pressured situations can be. We've had some cases where contract holders move out within days. We've had some cases where they don't. There's various reasons for that. And as we say, you do have to give the contract holder the opportunity to move, essentially. Sometimes where a court hearing's held, that can lengthen the process. Other times there's no need for a court hearing and we can just go straight to sort of the order for possession. But usually if we do have to go to a hearing, that can put maybe 4 to 8 weeks on top of the whole process. So as we say, we'll sort of guide you through as quickly as we possibly can, but it is a case of waiting for third parties on a lot of occasions.
What documents do you need from me?
There's quite a few things that we need, and it is quite sort of front heavy. If you can get everything to us straight away, that would be the best because we can look through everything and anticipate anything that we need to get that maybe you're missing. But Rent Smart Wales puts quite a lot of responsibility all the responsibility really on the landlords to make sure that they have these in place. We've actually got a really, really handy little checklist on our website where we've listed everything that we'd need. So it's just a case of sort of ticking everything off, and that's essentially exactly what we want to see from you at the initial stages when you pop along to a meeting and meet one of us.
I'm not sure I've complied with all the requirements. What do I do?
This is quite a common situation, to be honest. There's so much that you need to do within the legislation. It's really easy to let something fall through the cracks, and we completely understand that, so there's no need to worry if you don't. Usually it's better if you do, because things are a little bit more straightforward on our side, but we can provide you with a bespoke advice that you need, just depending on basically what you're missing. What we would do as well is ask, so say for example, you can't get the electrical certificate because your contract holders aren't letting you in the property. We'd ask for just some evidence just to show that you've tried, and then we'd present that to the court in the best way that we could. But as I say, there's absolutely no need to worry. We can talk you through anything.
My contract holder hasn't paid their rent for months. What can I do?
So this is a situation that we're actually seeing quite a lot, and we're more than happy to give you some sort of bespoke advice to your situation. What we'd ideally like to see first is at least 3 months of rent arrears accruing. We do have a really, really handy statement that we sort of provide to our new inquiries, just so you can sort of keep track of what's going on, how much is being paid and how much is still accruing. So a serious rent arrears matter, it'll be exactly the same as any other. We pop in a notice to the contract holder, giving them a date to leave, and then it always pretty much ends in a hearing, and an order for possession being granted. When we are at the order for possession stage, the judge will usually make a ruling in terms of the accruing rent arrears also. There does come situations as well when contract holders aren't able to pay, but we do have some specialist debt recovery lawyers in the firm who would be able to assist you in moving in the right direction and getting the rent owed to you.
My contract holder's behaviour has been antisocial. What can I do?
We'd be able to issue a notice to the contract holder just in the same way as we've done before, but the difference is we can go to court the same day and we can issue proceedings the same day. So that helps us get your property back to you very, very quickly.
Thank you for listening to us today. Check out our website or get in contact for some more information.